I'll be 55 in August, so I've survived that long only because of music and the people that wanted to make change. And at 17, I was a tenant organizer. So the Bronx has been my life. Basically, this is where I come from, and I love the place. And when I leave the Bronx, you can't take the Bronx out of me, wherever I'm at. So I like to say that being a musician is something I do and not who I am. I heard Herbie Hancock say that in an interview, and I kind of stuck with me because, we're humans first, and, having these skills is just that. It's skills that we do and have. My reason for becoming a musician was, of course, the attraction of being on stage and being with some famous people, but it was more, once I got to New York City, it was more of a survival thing. It kept me out of trouble. And my school was the streets and the parks of New York City, where I learned from the elders that were jamming in the streets and what we call rumba, rumbas. And rumba is not a rhythm, it just means the gathering of people to come together to play and sing and dance. So music, has always been a very important thing to me as far as survival, and it was something to do for a kid like me. When my backyard was rubble and the burning of the Bronx and all that stuff, there was really no centers, anywhere to go. So I hung on to dear life, to my drum, and my music, and I never stopped. It was almost like you're supposed to do it. It's something like Jeff Chang says, "Can't stop, won't stop." The music is a very big part of my life, and is a big part of organizing, is a big part of the community, is a big part of everything that we do. Music comes from all the way from when we were born. Lullabies in our cribs, and when we get used to so much music and it's put in elevators and dentists' offices, supermarkets, and there's music everywhere for kids, and we don't learn to appreciate music until we get older and realize the history of it and what happened, what conspired, what happened. I had the opportunity to play with many greats and been on stage with a lot of greats. And I say again, I can stand on a soapbox and talk about my career, but it's not who I am, and remember that. It's just things that I have done. And so I've been on stage. I had the pleasure of being with many Puerto Rican stars, Paquito Guzman, Lalo Rodriguez, Hector Tricoche, Cano Extremera, singers from Puerto Rico, and then Puerto Rican kid from the South Bronx in the Apollo Theater, playing with the house band there, and so in these interims of these places, of course, in the Apollo, Dizzy Gillespie came by, Lionel Hampton, you name it. I got to sit in with a lot of people on stage, Wynton Marsalis, a lot of names, and I can pop names like crazy. As an older person, I feel that time is not going to wait for you, so you need to keep up with time. So music is very, very important to me, very important. Even if you're not going to be a professional musician and you just want to play an instrument, keep playing. You get home from the office, pick up your flute, play piano, play whatever you can, because that's going to bring down all the stress, And music is the way of the world. We are the movers and the shakers of the world. And I said this before, that after 9/11, it was music that was given to the masses. It wasn't clergy or a politician.
What do you play?
Anything I can hit with my hands and sticks. I love percussion instruments. I love banging on things. I bang on my mother's pots and pans. When I was a kid, I banged on car hoods. My first conga drum cost me $5. It was a Japanese model, real thin fiberglass. And so that was my primary instrument. But, I love stick instruments, timbales and congas and bongos and drums, shekeres, batas, dundun, kinkani. These are all African drums, djembe, just anything that I can hit with my hands. I think there's a drum in every country in the world. Everything I do is emotional, spiritual, and physical at the same time. So I carry the love of God in me. I carry the love of Orisha in me. I carry the love of my people,